Have you ever watched someone sit quietly in a loud room, yet somehow they're the one who's truly awake? While everyone else reacts to the noise, they notice the patterns underneath it, the shifts in tone, the tension in someone's voice, the meaning behind what wasn't said. Most people move through the world on the surface, but deep thinkers don't live there. They operate on another level, one most people never even learn exists. And today, you'll see exactly how their mind works, the questions they ask that others overlook, the reflective reasoning that turns small moments into insight, and the mental habits you can borrow to sharpen your own thinking without slipping into overthinking. So let's unlock the hidden world inside people who are deep thinkers and understand why their inner landscape feels so rare. Deep thinkers don't start with answers, they start with questions. It begins with relentless curiosity, the trait most people skip. They don't accept surface explanations because they can feel there's always something beneath them. Research on high curiosity individuals shows they naturally push toward the root of things. That's why their insights feel deeper. They're built on causes, not assumptions. But curiosity alone isn't the engine. Reflection is. Deep thinkers pause. They slow the world down. They watch their emotions, question their interpretations, and examine their first reactions before acting on them. Studies on introspection show that this reflective processing gives them stability where others feel chaos. There's also intellectual humility, a rare power. Deep thinkers don't pretend to know everything. They revise their beliefs. They challenge themselves. They stay open to being wrong. Psychology research shows that people high in this trait are less biased and more logically grounded. And then there's their relationship with solitude. Not loneliness, solitude. A quiet environment gives them room to hear their own thoughts fully. But maybe the most overlooked trait is their comfort with ambiguity. Most people panic when answers aren't clear. Deep thinkers feel at home in uncertainty. They explore it, map it, and sit with it long enough to extract meaning. These traits create a mindset that's calm, observant, and unusually perceptive. But mindset is only the beginning. The real difference lies in how their mind actually works. Deep thinkers have a unique advantage. They don't just think, they notice themselves thinking. This is metacognition, the ability to observe your own thoughts as they form. It's like having a second mind, analyzing the first. Research shows people with strong metacognition detect weak arguments, challenge their assumptions, and correct their reasoning in real time. They also use integrative complexity, the ability to hold multiple perspectives at once without collapsing into confusion. They see contradictions not as problems, but as clues. They pull ideas from different angles, connect unexpected dots, and build nuanced conclusions, while others cling to black and white thinking. But another strength lies deeper: self-awareness. Deep thinkers track their emotional state the way others track the weather. They notice when they're stressed, reactive, influenced, or biased. And this self-monitoring gives them accuracy. Their thoughts aren't just deep, they're clean. The way they process information is equally distinct. They build mental maps, connecting experiences, memories, and patterns into broader frameworks. Studies on complex problem solving show that this allows them to plan further ahead and understand systems most people find overwhelming. And all this requires energy. Deep thinking isn't idle. It's deliberate, focused, and mentally expensive, which is why deep thinkers guard their attention fiercely, filtering out noise so their mind stays clear enough to think at full depth. But that clarity comes with a cost, and that leads to their hidden struggles. From the outside, deep thinkers look peaceful. Inside, it's demanding. The first struggle is mental fatigue. Deep cognitive processing drains energy fast. Research on cognitive load shows that even a single interruption can derail their thought process and force them to rebuild it from scratch. This is why deep thinkers protect silence, not as a preference, but as a necessity. Then there's the shadow of their own strength: overthinking. The same machinery that analyzes brilliantly can loop endlessly, reviewing possibilities, predicting angles, replaying events, trying to extract meaning long after the moment has passed. And socially, deep thinkers are often misunderstood. Their pauses get mistaken for awkwardness. Their need for depth gets mistaken for distance. Their quiet gets mistaken for disinterest. But in reality, they're processing more than they can express in real time. And the world we live in now makes it harder than ever. Notifications, noise, fragmentation, everything around them attacks the long stretches of focus their mind depends on. Studies show environments built on constant stimulation shrink the ability to think deeply altogether. And then there's the emotional weight. Deep thinkers see multiple layers: the logic, the subtext, the emotional nuance, the consequences. They hold more at once, which is powerful, but also heavy. Yet these struggles don't weaken them. They explain why true depth is rare. What separates deep thinkers isn't that they reflect, it's that they use their reflection. One of their strongest habits is structured reflection, journaling, voice notes, or mentally reviewing key moments. Research on reflective practice shows this approach drastically improves learning and emotional clarity. Deep thinkers treat life as a data set. Every experience contains information. They also practice idea testing. They debate themselves, read opposing views, challenge their assumptions. Instead of defending their ego, they sharpen their reasoning. This flexibility, rooted in intellectual complexity, helps them evolve faster than people who cling to mixed beliefs. Another tool is environmental design. Deep thinkers curate their surroundings to support clarity, quiet over chaos, focus over noise, depth over speed. They know that a cluttered environment creates a cluttered mind. And then there's energy timing. One of the most overlooked secrets. Deep thinkers study their mental rhythms. When they're sharp, creative, or introspective, they align their hardest thinking with their highest mental peaks. It's not just, what do I think? It's, when does my mind think best? These habits create a mental ecosystem where insight doesn't just appear, it compounds. And the benefits of that depth ripple outward. Deep thinking reshapes a person from the inside out. The first benefit is better decision-making. Deep thinkers choose with context, long-term consequences, emotional factors, root causes, and logical pathways. Studies on reflective reasoning show that this leads to more stable and less reactive choices. Another benefit is emotional resilience. Deep thinkers don't run from their feelings. They study them. They break down emotional patterns, understand their triggers, and process experiences with clarity. That kind of inner work builds strength, not softness. Deep thinkers also form more meaningful relationships. Their curiosity and self-awareness makes them attentive listeners. They catch subtle cues such as tone, timing, and subtext. People feel truly seen by them because they are seen. Creativity is another product of depth. Deep thinkers don't collect ideas. They combine them. They bridge concepts others never notice, which is why so many creators, writers, inventors, and artists fall into the deep thinker category. But the greatest benefit is something quieter. Purpose. Deep thinkers don't drift. They question, refine, align, and understand themselves through reflection. And that level of clarity gives their life a direction that feels intentional, not accidental, which leads to the final secret. You don't need to be born a deep thinker. Depth is a skill, and like any skill, it can be trained. Start with a daily reflection. A few minutes is enough. Ask yourself, what did I feel today? What did I learn? What did I assume without checking? This strengthens reflective reasoning and builds emotional clarity. Use metacognitive prompts during the day, such as, why do I believe this? What else could be true? How do I know I'm right? This activates the same self-monitoring deep thinkers use to avoid blind spots. Then, create a thinking ritual. Choose a time when your mind is naturally sharp, morning, late night, midday, and give yourself 10 minutes of uninterrupted space, long enough to think deeply, short enough to maintain daily. Reduce distraction, silence notifications, and clear visual clutter. Give your mind a clean runway. Research shows focus amplifies depth, while fragmentation kills it. Engage with ideas that stretch you, such as long-form content, complex books, and challenging viewpoints. The more you learn, the more you develop intellectual humility, and the more your thinking expands. And finally, connect with other deep thinkers. A conversation with someone who thinks in layers will sharpen your own mind faster than thinking alone ever could. Depth attracts depth. These tools don't just make you think better, they make you see better. Most people stay on the surface. Deep thinkers don't. They dive, and the deeper they go, the more of themselves they discover. If you choose depth even once, you won't see the world the same way again.